Yo, it's your man Rush
Yo.
Ranger. We live today. Well, what's going on, baby girl? Happy Father's Day to me.
Happy Father's Day, Rush.
How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm running a little bit, but I'm good.
Man,
How
listen.
you?
I'm good, man. You know, it's another Father's Day, man. You know, so a shout out to all the fathers listening to the show. It's I'm cracking up because I just really thought about like today's topic, and today's topic is really more like, even though we're gonna be mixing it up in the male and the female sides of it, today is when I thought about it, today is more of a topic for men than it is for women.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and we're gonna go
Oh,
into it.
really cool. No.
We gonna trust me. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it in a minute though. But how you doing today?
Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I spent the bulk of the day with my parents and loving on my daddy and just enjoying the day.
That's what's up. You was driving me crazy. I was wondering was you gonna be online. I'm like, where is the girl at? Jesus, help my soul. Y'all be messing with me so bad right before the show. I swear to God, y'all be driving me crazy. Shout out to all of our listeners right now. Yo, if y'all out there listening to the show, please share the show. Call into the show. You see the number up on the screen right now. If you are listening to the show and you're calling into the show, please cut down all background noises like all computers so that we don't get the feedback of the show while the show is actually going live. We would appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. But yo, we're gonna talk about it today. Why don't you introduce today's topic, sweetheart? Do you even remember what today's topic is, my love?
Today's topic is, do you accept my kids?
Say that.
So when it comes
say
to
that
dating,
again. Say it again. Say it again. You broke up a little bit. Do you accept what? Are you talking directly into the phone or what?
I am. No, I'm talking into my earpiece.
Okay, you know.
Do you accept my children?
Okay, you know we always hear you a little bit different. It's always stronger through the phone than it is the earpiece. But yeah. Do you accept my children?
Can I help my phone?
Yep, get to work. I'm gonna beat the dog out you. That's what sound check is for. Hallelujah, people. Can I get an amen for all the people out there in Negro land that's listening to the show? Y'all listening to What's Love Got to Do It, but we're gonna get into it. But like really, like let me ask you your question. Let me ask you the question first. Where do you find, or do you find any issue in that situation? Dating and accepting kids.
When I was right. Honestly, I believe when I was younger, I didn't have that much of an issue with it, especially they had younger children or whatever. I mean, my ex-husband got together. He had 3 kids. It was not a big deal to me. Coming up on a new birthday on Thursday, and I'm kicking a half a century. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't.
Wait, whoa. Whoa. You just messed me up because didn't you just the other day when we was talking about this, wasn't you on the other side of the track initially?
But remember, you and I had that whole discussion where we are right now.
Okay.
Now, again, when I got together with my daughter's father, I was in my 20s. He had 3 kids. It was no big deal. I've dated some men, they've got younger children, but, they're older. I mean, when I say kids, I'm talking like the littles.
Little babies.
I don't have the tolerance for the littles right now.
Okay.
Like my grandbabies, I love them, but that's because I can give them back to their mama.
That's sort of cold, don't you think?
No, I love them. I will love on them. I will spoil them rotten. I will give them sugar, and I give them back to their mama.
Well, see, like this is my intake on it. When I was younger, now I will say this because you're talking to I'm a father of 3. You know what I mean? So I got some grown ones, and I got one teenager left. When I was younger, it was like, yeah, I could jump dead into that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I meet a chick, you know what I mean? And when I think, this is the difference for me. When I was younger, I was meeting the chick. I wasn't really meeting her kids. Does that make sense at all? Like, you know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what I mean? I was going out to kick it with her. You know what so more than I was seeing the kids. You know what I mean? It was more like a late night call, or
Right.
you know, if we went out somewhere, we went somewhere without the kids. So the kids weren't so much of an issue when I was younger. Now that I'm older though, you know what I'm saying? Like it would really have to be like the only way that I could see myself in any situation dealing with somebody that had kids at this particular point in my life is like if I knew them already. You know what I'm saying? And I already know
Oh,
that
yeah.
and I know
Right,
that
yeah.
I know that I got a good rapport with the kids. You know, we cool, we ain't got no beefs. You know what I mean? But if it's anything else,
Right.
I don't think I got the time for it because I think like, you know, I probably be in. See, this is the issue. I can meet a wonderful woman. Like real shit. I can meet a wonderful woman. And then turn around, her kids be on some bullshit. And you feel what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I don't want to fuck with that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like she can't even control her kids. You know what I mean? I didn't sign up. Like, and I guess it's a difference. Like for, you know, some of the, I understand there might be some fellas out there listening to the show. Like you meet a woman and, you know, you meet her full package and all that shit. But, you know, at certain stages of your life, you go through different things. When I was younger, I was wild. You feel me? I didn't,
Right.
I didn't do such crazy things that I would do now in life. You know what I'm saying? Like now at this point in my life, I'm much more relaxed. I'm much more calm. I know what kind of woman I want, even though I might still choose the wrong woman from time to time. But, you know, I know what I want. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to get into that. But, you know what I mean?
I'm not saying nothing. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But, like, at this particular point in my life, I know what I want. So I just ain't going out dealing with anything. I ain't just saying nothing to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I could even, like, this is the crazy thing. Even with Facebook, I see a lot of beautiful women. You know what I'm saying? And I even have women sort of say stuff to me that's on the flirtatious side or whatever, but I'd be like, nah, I ain't got the patience for that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got, it ain't in me to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that that woman is not a good woman, not to say that, you know, that the kids aren't good. It's just, do I personally have the time to deal with that or shall I say the patience? Because, you know, it's really more about patience than it is about time. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I'm about to be 40 something, you know, years old this year. So like, it's a difference. Like I can't see myself dating a woman that just had a baby crying.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? Baby need this, baby need that. You know,
Same.
like my mind's not there. You know what I mean? And then you know, I told you about what I do and where I work. Like on that side, like, yo, I see enough kids in that disposition between, you know, like any from grammar school to high school, I see them. So I don't want to see nobody in that age bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like if I do, like some women I have met, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, they got some cool kids. You know what I'm saying? And I guess like the kids got their own life. And it's like, okay, cool. I could probably deal with that. But to get into a situation, be like, yo, I'm about to rock with Shorty. I'm about to try to get down with Shorty. And she just got, you know, some fresh newborns. That's not for me. You know what I mean? What you think about it?
I think that I agree with you at being at that stage in life. When you're talking about, you know, she got a newborn, and being, you know, I straddle the fence. I'm not gonna lie to you. So on either side, whether it's a man or a woman, it becomes a lot. And yeah, you really have to be in that mindset of, you know, it's not just the children that you are, I mean, you know, not just that woman that you were tuning into when they're very young like that. Because when they're very young like that, it's her and hers.
Yeah, and see, like, check
so
the older I get, you know, even when it comes down to like sex, it's like, yo, I want it when I want it. You know what I'm saying? I've been so used to not
Yeah.
no baby crying, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I'm in such a
Trying
different
to tiptoe
stage.
around. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm in a different stage in where I'm at with that whole thing. And not to say again, I'm gonna say this again. This is no knock towards anybody that has kids. Like if you got kids, God bless you. God bless your heart. God bless your soul. You know, I ain't mad at you, but I ain't trying to deal with that at this particular point in my life. That right there would drive me completely up the wall. Come on, talk to me.
I think it also kind of depends on that individual person and where they were, because even when my daughter was younger, she didn't meet. I mean, he had to have been around for like a long time. I didn't allow anyone around my daughter. So because I didn't allow anyone around my daughter, it was, you know, so it wasn't really, I guess for me, it wasn't so much a matter of accept me, accept my child. You know, you accept me, you accept that there are going to be times when I'm not available, or I have something else that I have to do, and I'm going to have to get with you later.
And see, like, I ain't trying to deal with that at this point in my life, because at this point in my life, like, if I want to deal with you, the only thing that should be stopping me from seeing you I'm talking about me personally at this particular point, what I want to deal with. Like, the only thing that's going to float my boat personally is when I can see you outside of my my everyday. Well, my life is already crazy. You know what I mean? Like, when I get home, I want to chill. You know, I want to kick back, lay back, you know, call it what you want to call it. I'm not trying to sit up, you know, and you know, like, be baby, you know, baby extra daddy, because I ain't the baby daddy. You feel what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing. I ain't the baby daddy. So, like, you know, and then on top of that, it's like the needs of a woman that has kids are much more deeper than just finding a woman, you know what I'm saying, that you just rocking with. You just have, you know, you getting down with, you doing whatever. It's a difference. You feel what I mean? Like, okay,
I'm going to need you to break that one down. No, I'm going to need you to break that down.
I'll give you a prime example. Shit. When I'm hungry, you feel what I'm saying? And I'm with my woman, I got, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to feed my woman. Then if, like, depending on how many kids she got, let's keep it 100. Let's say a woman got 3 kids, right? If I'm eating, I only feel obligated to, you know, like, to feed. I don't want to just be sitting around the kids just eating good and they ain't eating. But then again, that's something coming out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't sign up for that. You know what I mean? At this particular point, it's a difference when you sign up for it. Like, I want to make sure I get this across to people. I'm not hating on somebody that's dating a woman that has children. Not doing that at all. Neither am I. Or a woman that's dating a man that has children. But it's so much bullshit that comes into the game. Prime example. Let's just say, again, I'm vibing on a woman. She looked good. We had good conversation. You know what I mean? And then we start dating. You know, she tell me she got a baby daddy. But she don't tell me that the baby daddy's crazy as fuck. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what? It's crazy as fuck. The baby daddy crazy as hell. Oh. She ain't telling me that the baby daddy crazy as hell when I meet her. You know what I'm saying? She ain't telling me that, you know, you just went through this last little situation with dude. You know what I mean? And he done bust out your car windows. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't giving me that script. Yeah, nah. And then, like, shit, what do I do as a man when I find out you got a crazy ass ex?
Yeah. See, my thing is, but everybody doesn't work like I do. But my thing is, when I'm in a relationship with someone and that relationship ends, we ended on such a note as, okay, look, you're not gonna act no fool with me. I ain't gonna act the fool with you. You better not act the fool with me. But then again, I'm a little different than some of these females out here, just the way that I handle things. But yeah, no, like that stuff right there, that you need to know about that ahead of time. And women are the same way, because, you know, she could be like, okay, you know, you're talking about it from a man's perspective, but, you know, let's talk about, you know, a man who past, him and the mama, they broke up or they was never truly together, but they got this new baby together, or this, 1-2-year-old baby, and the chick is crazy. She's stalking him. He got the baby in the car. Been there, saw that. I was just like, oh, you probably need to go handle that, because I ain't fitting to do that. And that was before I am where I am now. It was like, I'm not going to handle that. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to need you to, if you can't take care of that, if you can't control that situation, I'm out.
Yeah, see, like when I was...
You cool people.
Yeah, see, that's the...
You were very appealing to the eye. You were very appealing to the mind.
That's the worst part. That's the worst part when you meet them up, when you meet somebody and you be like, damn, they cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I enjoy spending time with them. But I just don't get along with they shorty. Like, I'm going to give you a prime example. I've dated somebody in the past, right? And, like, not to say that the shorty was, like, a bad kid, but I just feel like, shorty was so attached to their mama that they didn't want nobody really fucking with their mama. So it created, like, an issue just along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, I'm just trying to kick it and chill. And I get this little attitude, or, you say something. And then that's another thing. Like, how do you deal with if somebody kids say something crazy to you? Like, real talk. Like, think about it. Like, think about we just chilling. We're in a good, we're in a good spot, but you say something absolutely nutty, crazy. Your child say something crazy to me. How am I supposed to deal with that? Is that supposed to be something that I look at? It's just like, yeah, it's cool. I'm going to let the mama deal with it. Or do you deal with it? Like, and that's going to depend on too. Like, if it's a male on male situation, man, testosterone kick in. You ain't really thinking about mama trying to say nothing. You like, yo, look, nigga. I don't know who you talking to. Don't be getting mad because I'm staying in your mama. Your mama love me. You know what I mean? And I'm good with your mama. The only issue I got right now is you. Talk to me.
I don't know. I got one of those that will slick talk you, and I got one of those that if she got something to say, she gonna speak her mind. But mine is grown, but mine also knows not how far to push it. So I don't. When you have kids, I don't know how to deal with children like that, because I'm real old school, and my backhand game is real quick and it's real hard, and it's it's on point. That and the fact that should you be out of arm's reach, I have perfect pitch when it comes to throwing something. Perfect aim. So I don't know. I'm not one of those mamas. I don't know. Mine has once. She did it to me one time, and I pulled her coattails.
What'd she do?
She only ever did it that one time.
What'd she do? I want to know what she did. Because I want to know from a male perspective how how I want to hear it and then be like, how would I take that as a male? Like, I want you to give me the whole situation. What caused it? What made her say something? And what was it that she actually said? And then how did you deal with it from that point?
Funnily enough, it was her father. We had, we was looking at each other, and he had come to visit or whatever, and we was kind of looking at each other, and he and ha, and she was just like, look, I love you as my daddy, but you better stay away from my mama like that. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, that's your father. And she looked at me, and she said, but I'm not talking about him like my daddy. And I'm like, okay, because most kids, they're like, oh, mommy and daddy, let me get back together.
What she say? She said, I'm not she said, I'm not what?
I'm not looking at him as my daddy. She was looking at him as some man who was trying to push up on her mama. She wasn't feeling that whole situation. Okay. So she let it be known.
Okay. That's another conversation.
But, yeah, we really, and that's the only time where, and like I said, and it blew me out of the water because my child is very respectful. We don't have those issues as far as, like outside people coming in or whatever and her, getting out of pocket. But I guess maybe she felt because, you also have to keep in mind, we're in one state. Her father is 900 miles away. So he's not a part of our lives like that. So he is very much so a hands-off kind of an absentee father. But he comes up to visit and, he'll spend time, when he can. But they didn't have a good relationship up until the past couple of years. So at that point in time, she was letting him know, I love you to death as my daddy, but I'm gonna need you to back up off of my mama as a man. So then I had to get with her because I had to be like, oh, hold on. This is not, you don't get no say so here. You need to, And so we had to really correct her and correct her thinking. But I mean, she just doesn't. She doesn't get out of pocket like it. So I don't have that experience. I don't know because I'm also one of those real corrective type parents. So if, like you were just talking about, if her son, was to say something and come off the cuff, I'm the kind of person. Okay, that's your child, but your child just came at me incorrectly. I'm going to correct that person. So I don't know, from on a man-to-man standpoint, yeah, I can see how that could be a little, a man-to-boy standpoint, I can see how that could be, that could be some stuff.
Yeah, now if it's a female, if it's a male and a young daughter, I think the approach should be different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I think like at that time, you should pull the mother over and be like, look, I'm having this situation with your child, and I'm trying not to, say nothing disrespectful, but your child is out of pocket in my perspective. You know what I mean? And I think like at that point, it's
Absolutely.
really up to the mother to do something. And see, like, this is the other issue. Like, you got a lot of men and women. I'm gonna throw it out there because I'm standing on the side. Because see, I'm not standing on a male or a female's perspectives today. I'm standing on the side of whether I could date somebody that has children. So I want to make sure that even though I'm talking about males and females, that I don't want y'all to get into no male bashing. That ain't what this is, But I'm talking about, because I'm serious. Because like, man, you know how people can hear what they want to hear and not hear what the real, truth is, or what you're actually saying. So I'm gonna say that now because I don't want to repeat that.
Very much so.
Later on in the show. Now, if it's somebody new come onto the show and they just, so happen to chime into this conversation and they sort of go against it, then I'll repeat it. But, to be honest with you, like it's sort of hard nowadays because, first of all, you have people, and I was about to go somewhere, but I'm not going to say that. But you have people that feel that you have people that feel that you can't tell them anything. And I'll say that on both sides of the spectrum. You feel what I'm saying? So now let's just say I'm going to use the perspective of a child that has grown up very independent and somewhat spoiled. And they don't feel like they don't like who their mama or their daddy is dating. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
that's mine. Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So like now, it's like I gotta have a, like at some point the conversation gotta be had, but I can't sit back and wait on this conversation to really take place too long. I can't wait for the next time, like if the situation happens and then I have a conversation with you and then you have a conversation with your daughter and your daughter or your child acts out again, cool. Then it's like, okay, then me and you need to have another conversation about how to approach this. But it's different when you have a conversation with your mate about their kid and then they still don't do nothing about it. They sort of sweep it under the rug. You know what I mean? They never really have a conversation about respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then how can you expect me, even though I like you, I could even love you, and not decide to stay in a relationship with you? You know what I mean? Like, I think at some point, I think a lot of us deal with people. We like them. We either like what they do to us or what they do for us. But at the end of the day, the situation is not a good situation, and we stick in it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We find reasons to make it work. And like I said again at the beginning of the conversation, I'm at the age point in the age bracket where I'm not trying to sit down and really readjust my life or adjust my life to anyone else's situation at this particular point, you know. Talk to me.
And I guess, so I guess, you know, once the more we talk about it, I guess I need to think about how I'm saying this. Because I was dating a man, and his daughter, this was probably, you know, a few years ago. So his daughter might have been about 5 or 6 at the time. And I am in my 40s. I was willing to step in and to, you know, continue to date him at that point. She was not an issue for me. But then again, this is also a child who was extremely, you know, respectable and extremely mannerable, and a child who, even though she was, you know, that was daddy's little girl, and you know, and daddy's heart or whatever, you know, she still did not, even, you know, and she was slightly spoiled, but I loved her to death, you know, and you know, it was a matter of, you know, so when it came to a point where something happened and it made her uncomfortable, you know, she did act out a little bit, but, you know, he pulled her aside, he talked to her, and then, you know, we all sat down and we talked together, and that was how we were able to do this. Now, fast forward 4, 5, 6 years, where I am now, like I said, I'm kicking 50. I'm knocking on 50's door. I'm right there. I can't, ain't gonna lie, I can't run around changing diapers. I'm not chasing nobody down the street. I'm not. And mine is grown now too. Nope. And that sounds horrible. Especially coming from a woman's perspective.
No, it don't sound horrible. Like when you live your life to a certain point in time. Feel me? Check out what I'm saying. When you have lived your life, you, like you said, you about to hit the 50 mark. You have lived your life beyond what most people have even experienced. So, you know what I mean? You have a right to say, like, I don't want that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't no knock against nobody that got no kids. Like, and this is the sad part. I ain't even saying that, like, a brother won't even knock you down. But it's about getting into a relationship that's the difference maker. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's a difference maker. So, like, you know, I want people to understand that we having a complete conversation. We separating just simple sex, and we talking about a full-blown relationship. Can you get into a full-blown relationship with somebody that you know, that has children? Yo, we want to hear from y'all. If y'all want to dial the show, dial 701-802-5290. And then just once you dial into the number, you just got to pull in the access code. It's 490-7349 and the pound button. It's on the screen right now. We'd love to hear from you. But yeah, like I'm gonna tell you, like I met this one chick, and I'm like, oh my God, her kids were so goddamn bad. It was like,
oh no.
It was like when I first looked at their ass, I was like, man, hell no. This ain't nothing that, like, I knew immediately.
You need to play it.
I knew it immediately.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
The comedian Robin Harris.
Baby kids. You goddamn right. Because, like, some of y'all, you know, men and women, some of y'all got some baby kids out here, boy. Them motherfuckers is running wild. And, you know, shit, they doing whatever the fuck they want to do, talking however they want to talk. Y'all let them, you know, like, I understand, like, when I was a kid, we did, like, shit that we ain't had no business doing. We would drink, you know, we would get together and smoke. But, like, I be cracking up now because parents be allowing their kids to do shit in the crib. You know what I mean? Like, adult shit. Like, shit that they shouldn't even be doing. And, like, if I meet your kid and, like, that nigga come up to me and ask me for, you know, can he have some of my drink? And I'm looking at this nigga like, who am I going to cuss out? I'm going to cuss you and her out. I'm going to be like, yo, can you get this little motherfucker up out my face asking me for a shot of my drink? You know, like, oh, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, how, at some point, you know, and I think it's really, it's not so much the thing about dating somebody no more that has kids. It's about dating somebody or trying to weed through a relationship with a woman that you interested in, or the man that you interested in is a good human being and they're a good father and they raising their kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a difference maker to me. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it. Some of y'all ladies on Facebook, y'all be doing too goddamn much. And y'all kids be friends of y'all's on Facebook. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, I ain't knocking what you do. But I will knock how you doing it. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You feel what I mean? Like, if you're going to have kids and you're going to decide to be, you know, whatever you're going to decide to be, your kids shouldn't see it in the forefront. If you know, like, real shit. Like, you could be because there's some parents out here that don't want to be in a committed relationship, period. And they want to do what they want to do. They want to, you know, kick it and have as many relationships as they want to have. But when your kid sees that and can translate that into your parenting, that's an issue for me personally, because it's like you care more about kicking it than being a parent. You care about hanging out with your friends and being at the next social event and going on the next, you know, cruise and doing everything else instead of raising your kids. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, that's an issue. I can't understand that. You know what I mean? And then, like, for me to be at the point that I'm telling y'all, I'm at a point in my life where I have never wanted peace so much in my life. Like, when I say peace, I be talking about like peace. There are days I just want to come to the crib and do nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, absolutely nothing. And if it comes down to sex, it gotta be because you done walked around here and something and caught my eye, because literally I don't feel like doing nothing. I feel like watching a little TV. I might feel like having a drink. You know, I don't feel like doing nothing. So I need somebody that can understand that about me. And that's not an issue. You know what I mean? To get into something where, you know, baby, can you run to the store? The kids need this. Or, baby, can you do this?
Yeah.
I ain't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to do that. And because guess what? It's not only not fair to me, it's not fair to you, to the woman that I would deal with, or the man that, you know, if you were dealing with if you're a woman and you in this situation, and it's definitely not fair to the kid. Because if you know that you in a situation that you know ain't going nowhere, and you got a kid that's looking at you and sees you coming around, and you're not gonna be there in the end, come on, man, you might as well just go ahead and you know, find something that's gonna be feasible for what you want to do. Even if you want to go be a slut bucket, go find a good slut bucket where y'all can slut bucket away from the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Where you got some type of respect for what's going on with the kids. Come on, talk to me. I see we got some people out here listening to the show, man. If y'all want to call into the show and y'all want to give y'all opinion, just dial 701-802-5290. Access code 490-7349 and the pound button. I'd love to hear from y'all. Yeah. Come on, talk to me, baby girl.
I'm gonna tell you, and I guess again, that that goes back to people's parenting styles, because no one came before her. If I was gonna do some stuff, it had to be at a time where she was with friends, she was off doing her own thing. No one came before her. So when you talk about these people on here who I got to run off and I got to do this crew, and they're so busy, like you said, being more of a socialite. You know, and being, you know, the social butterfly as opposed to being a parent, those are the kind of people I simply can't relate to. But that also touched on another point in the fact that, you know, we talk about not being able to be with people, you know, or not wanting to, you know, get into relationships with, you know, people who have children. I had to actually retract that. And I flipped the script again. I have to retract that, because my issue is I cannot do bad and disrespectful children. If your children are disrespectful, I won't. I just won't, because I'm too old school. I came from the village. Like my daughter was raised in a village. I come from a village. And if you get out of pocket with Miss Jones told your ass off or corrected you however needed to be corrected. And then Miss Jones told your mother, I corrected you, so now you done got it twice. That's the kind of village that I came up in. That's the kind of village that my daughter was raised in. But that's also, a lot of folks don't have that mentality and don't have that sense, that space anymore when it comes to raising their children. Their children might be out here in the streets raising hell, this and that and the other, and they don't sit up there and be like, don't be saying nothing to my children, and, my children, this and that and the other. No.
Yeah.
So now those are the kind of people, those are the kind of parents, and the kind of situations I cannot deal with. You may be a good person. You may be pleasing to the eyes and pleasing to the mind, but then when I see you have that kind of mentality or lack of structure when it comes to, raising your children or raising your child, then that's going to make you unattractive to me. And so in that, right, you're right. I won't do it. But now if you have a child who is mannerable, who is respectful, and again, we're not talking about itty bitties. I'm not going to do itty bitties. I'm not. It's not. I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not changing no diapers. I have grandchildren. I have godchildren who are young, who are, in that diaper stage. Okay, that's cool. These are somebody's grandchildren. You're talking about, I have my grandkids. Okay. My grandkids are over here visiting. Okay. But if you're telling me you got a 2-year-old and, you have custody of this 2-year-old.
I ain't trying to hear that motherfucker cry.
No.
I ain't trying to hear that motherfucker cry. Like, I'm just being like, just real shit. Like, I'm just like, right now, like, if I heard a baby just, at 2:00 in the morning, or when I'm trying to get it, man. I'm trying to, ooh.
I have a 3-year-old that lives above me. I said, I got to go back to the house. I can't do this apartment. I mean, I know it was a quick move or whatever, but I can't do this apartment thing no more. There's a 3-year-old. The lady above me has a 9-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-day-old. That 3-year-old.
That house is loud.
That 3-year-old that runs constantly. Child don't know how to walk nowhere, no how, at no point in time.
I know it.
Because of the virus, they don't have no kind of schedule, no kind of nothing. This child wakes up every night at 1:55. At 1:55. And she screams and hollers and has a whole complete, entire shit fit until damn near 3:00 in the morning.
Just running amok. I couldn't do that.
And at that point in time, she's supposed to. And then they got a 7-day-old. I'm like, that baby don't lost your mind. I'm too old for this shit. That's why I said we got to move.
And see, for me, parents aren't. I'm gonna keep it 100. Parents ain't. They aren't. They just ain't parenting anymore. Parents aren't parenting anymore. Like, it's so. I really can't even just get into it, but parents aren't parenting anymore. Kids are just really just going buku fucking crazy. Like, and I give you a prime example. Right. I dare anybody right now to go on World Star Hip Hop and just scroll for at least five minutes. You're going to see at least 3-4 good clips of kids under 21 going nuts. I can't do that. And like, for me, I don't think I got the patience to even if I don't have to deal with it one-on-one, I don't think I have the patience to deal with a woman who has to be stressed out by her kids. You feel me?
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
like,
that ain't gonna happen. I can't do it.
Yeah, like, when I'm with you, I don't want to hear about, and this all the fucking time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Not if I just meet, like, and I take that, and I'm telling you, like, there are people that I know that, I had a relationship with them. I got a relationship with the kids. I'm not talking about that particular situation. I'm talking about like meeting someone
Right.
and being like, yo, I want to hook up. And I know you got these kids. I know that, you can't maneuver the way that you want to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? If I plan a trip, I gotta, I can't. It's not just me calling you to see if you can go on a trip. I gotta see what you can do in the crib and see if somebody can watch the kids for a little bit. I gotta,
Right.
if I just randomly want to go the fuck out, I can't randomly go out with you. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's a major issue to me. That's a major issue to me. And like, okay, what would you say to somebody? And this is my question to you. What would be your advice to somebody that is dating somebody that has an issue with somebody's kids?
Shoot. Y'all gotta have those conversations. Y'all gonna have to come to an understanding. You have to.
Okay, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate. I'm gonna play the person that's in that situation. Well, what do I do? How do I play the devil's advocate?
What do you mean? How do you play the devil's advocate? You said you was gonna do it. What?
No, I'm saying I'm responding as the person that you're talking to. I asked you, this was the question. What would you say to somebody that's going through this situation, that's trying to figure out, you know what I mean? Like they dealing with somebody that got some bad ass kids. Why would you?
You have to ask them, okay, is this truly worth it? I would ask them, is this truly worth it to you? If it's truly worth it to you, then you're gonna have to sit down and have a talk with, whoever this person is that you're trying to be with. Y'all gonna have to get some control. Because if there is no control, then the kids gonna run all over you, just like they're running all over the parent. And, if that's not gonna work for you, then, drop your balls and say what needs to be said. I don't sugarcoat. So for me, it's not a matter of, I'm just like, it's like, this is what needs to happen. So this is what needs, you need to have this conversation.
Yeah, but
you need to let them know, look.
I'm going to throw this in there though. What if the sex is very, very good? What if like sexually it's the person that has just rocked your world on a level that you have never ever dealt with, but they got some badass kids? You gonna try to make it work?
I mean, I'm gonna holler. I might slide through in the middle of the night once the kids are asleep, but just like on a regular, no, because especially where I am in life right now, I can't do that. I can't do it.
I mean, what if he just asked you in the middle of just breaking your back, like, baby, I want you to move in?
Oh, hell no.
I want you to move in, baby. Like, you know how it is when you having sex talk. You talk about stuff that you don't talk about normally. Baby, I want you to move in the crib this weekend. You know what I mean? Like how do you tell him right then in that moment while he hitting it, or do you wait till afterwards? How do you have that conversation with him?
We're gonna keep stroking, and when we're done, we're gonna be like, when you had said what you had said about me moving in, now that ain't gonna happen though. I'm gonna still come through, but yeah, no, hell no.
But how do you expect that to go though?
But again.
But do you expect it to end at because he's telling you he wants you to move in. He's saying he wants you to be that sweet thing. He wants you to come on in.
Okay. First of all, anybody who knows me, anybody who's dating me, anybody who's trying to be in a serious long-term relationship with me understands I'm not getting ready to move in with you. If we're not getting ready to take a walk, we not gonna have it.
I'm gonna come against that. The nigga come with you and be like, look, I got the ring. He hitting it, and this nigga got the ring up under the pillow, and he busts out and say, yo, baby, I want to marry you. You gonna move in? You gonna marry that nigga? He tearing your back out. You gonna marry him?
But the badass kids is outside the door?
They ain't even at the crib. This is a smooth moment. You don't even hear the kids right now. They outside. They over somebody's crib. They fucking up somebody else's neighborhood right now. They making somebody else upset right now. You just getting laid out right now. Do you fuck around and accept the fucking wedding ring, or do you sit there and stop and be like, yo, we gotta talk?
Well, you better not be trying to put no ring on it in that particular moment.
Why not? He might be thinking that's some romantic shit. He piping your ass down, you screaming and sweating, and he just busts out with the ring. He just comes from up under the pillow.
And if I'm screaming and
like
sweating,
baby
you better not be trying to have no damn intelligent conversation with me.
Come on, I know a lot of women.
I know
a lot of women that have said yes to an engagement during sex. Stop it.
What did I tell you earlier?
What you tell me?
I'm not like a lot of females out here. Because I live my life, and this is, okay, so hear me when I say this, because this is where things are different. And because I hear you talking about these women and these children, and so this is where things are different. And this is where I am different.
Yeah, how's it different?
I live my life. I live my life by example. I live my life in a way that nobody's going to be like, you set a bad example for you to live. You had this man running in and out. You had this man around her and that man around her. No one can ever say that, and my daughter can never say, well, Mama had this man in the house and that man in the house and this and that and the other. No. Because that's not how I lived my life. That's not how I have lived my life up until this point. She is now 18 plus, so we have reached that, whew, you grown. I ain't got to, duck and dodge no more. You grown, this is what it is. But I don't live my life out there. I'm not out there wild like that. I'm not out there cutting up and acting a fool and doing all that. So if I am in a relationship and I am in it may be the best sex ever. But if we are truly in a relationship, we already have an understanding about these children. With me.
See? And that's the purpose that I'm talking about. Like, what's the purpose of even getting into a relationship with a nigga then? Like if I know that there is no end game rocking with you, what's the purpose?
Then I don't do it.
No, but that ain't what you just said. You just said, like, you just said we banging and I told this nigga what it is, and that's what it is. See, that's what I'm trying to get to. A lot of times folks be talking about what they won't deal with, and they deal with it anyway. And then you be knowing that it was a fucked up situation beforehand. So why even get into it? Like, if I know that like, prime example, I've met women and they've been bad as hell, but I done seen them out in certain situations. I done seen how they responded to certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
right.
Do I hit it just because I want to hit it for the moment? Or do I walk away and just, let it be? And a lot of times I find that folks can't just let shit be. You be wrapped up in whatever. Either you lonely at the moment, you horny, whatever it is. I got to let this nigga smash. And then the next thing you know, you don't want, they're stuck. You stuck. And you in a fucked up situation. Like, I don't know. I see. Who else I see online? I think I see.
That's our sister. That's our sister girl. Tell her hello and let her talk. Hey, I saw her.
Hey, baby girl.
I love her voice.
Father's Day.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Thank you. She did that all sweet, sexy and shit. Like, oh, so happy Father's Day.
I know.
It's Father's
See, you
Day.
got to end up in one of them situations. You gotta
I
stop
ain't
it.
ending up in shit. I just got through telling you for a whole hour. I'm not ending up in shit that I don't need to be in. Like, I'm trying to get that so across to y'all. Like, I'm not like, look, there was a time in my life, and I'm going to just be honest. There was a time when I was younger where I would, It was all about the party. It was all about kicking it. And it was all about smashing. And it not only was it about smashing, it was about smashing whoever was available at the time. You feel what I'm saying? But at this particular point in my life, I have smashed enough motherfuckers and walked away from that situation like, God damn it, I never should have even said hello to this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after you experience life enough,
Right.
you should be smart enough to not just be intrigued by what the fuck you see or what somebody says to you or a first impression. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all from personal experience. You know, like I have dealt with people that, you know, like you be like, yo, I think this is it. And you find out that that ain't it at fucking all. And then when you sit back and think about how you met that motherfucker, how y'all first started dealing with each other, and you think about all the red flags that you saw beforehand that you just really didn't confront. Come on, you feel what I'm saying? That's a real life situation. And people be stuck for years and years and years. I have a saying, I used to say this on the show back in the day. There are so many people that are fucking the same person with a different face. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute.
Okay, so you know what? I think we need to let our sister girl. We don't let her take it from here. We didn't talk for a while. We don't let her take it from here. And then when she's done, I'm gonna read some of these comments. But you know, we always have to hear from you because you know she always drops much knowledge on us.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna type down and let her speak.
Let's get it.
Oh, cool. All right, all y'all drop knowledge. That's what the show is about, right? All right, so which part? What you just said, Russ, or about the whole blended family, or has the conversation taken another turn? Where are we at?
Masako asked the question.
We haven't made it to blended families yet.
Yes.
We ain't made it to blended families yet. We still stuck on. We still trying to decide if the relationship is worth it, and if we just gonna smash or keep it moving, or if we gonna even try to get in the relationship. We ain't made it to blended yet. That's the next hour.
Okay, all right. So I was about to hop ahead. I'm like, well, we run the families, but well, first of all, that has to do with your worth, your self-worth. Because I remember back in the day, and honestly, I say up until about 3 years ago, and I'm keeping it all the way real. When you don't know what your worth is, and you don't know what it is that you actually need and want, you will be open to anything. And when you're thirsty, you'll take all this, hey, baby girl, or all little false promises, or even the ones that may seem to be so super conscious. You just have to use that thing called discernment. And then the other thing is, I know we all have hormones. We all have needs. Look, there are many, many, many different avenues you can take to satisfy needs besides staying with somebody that's going to be toxic for you. Okay? And I don't know how far we're going to go with the show, so I'm just going to leave it there. There are many, many different ways.
Yeah, jump your ass in the shower. Jump in the shower. Rub it out.
Say, if you want to cool down and get control over it, do some meditation. Do some exercise. Listen to some music.
Jump your ass in the shower.
While you're feeling that way.
And shake it off.
But I'm saying, like, you guys, it has to go deeper than the thing is twitching, and you know, you may have an itch that needs to be scratched, or something's rising. Okay? It has to go further than just that shell. So when you're looking at a relationship and if you should stay, hit it, whatever, think about that right there. You want to hit it. You didn't say I want to love it. You didn't say I want to pour into it. You said I want to hit it, or I want to get my back broke. There are many different terminologies that people use talking about the physical aspect of sex. There is more to it than just the physical aspect of sex. So if the sex is holding you there, trust me, there are many different Raheems with the Timbos, maintenance men, okay, and a lot of cleanup women and jump off and whatever else you want to call them that are in that space and place that they will fulfill that for you. That's the route you want to go. But you got to ask yourself this question. After the is done, what's left? What you got? And then think about this too. While you Everybody they just with, and you two are combining all those energies. And for a lot of people, some people have not cleaned out their closet. So that means their bodies and energies and souls falling out. They're still there. With all y'all having one major orgy. All because you were led by the lower half. So you got to combine the two together. Yes, your needs can be met. Yes, your wants can be met. But what are you willing to do for that? Are you going to sell your soul for a piece of meat? Or are you going to pour into and make a wealthy investment in yourself first? And then when you do that, you'll be able to distinguish between who is wealthy enough. It's for the ladies and the men. But for the ladies, that yoni, that's your temple. That's your door. You get to choose who comes through that door. Everybody is not worthy of coming through that door. I don't care how fine they are. I don't care how much they may turn you on. I don't care if they have a good job, because a lot of women, you sell your stuff for money. You sell your stuff for a job. You sell yourself for a title. Stop it. Same thing with the men. I love you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
No, snap on these. No, we did all that Happy Father's Day shit at the beginning of the show.
He said you selling yourself.
Yeah, no.
Prostitute, stop it.
Yeah, because, she be making, man. I love it when she be breaking it down.
Look, I've been there too. That's what I'm saying. I've been there, and those little words sometimes got me. After I'm like, When you get older, you learn. You go through shit and you learn. And when you can hear that stuff and say thank you and keep it pushing. And smile sweetly and keep it pushing. That don't mean you got to open the door. You can say thank you. You don't have to curse them out. You don't have to say, I'm this, I'm that. If you're that, then just be it. Walk it like you talk it. Just smile and say thank you. That's all. And guys, you don't got to pick up every fat behind, every whatever you like. She had a good job. You're trying to be, in that position. They're all types out there. But just think about what your life is worth. If it's not worth that much, then you'll be susceptible to anything. And nobody else has to tell you you're not worth it. You're telling yourself you're not worth it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What would you say to a woman or a man right out there right now that recognizes that they are in a situation with somebody and they have children? Now we want to flip it a little bit. We talking to the people that have children that like. What would be your words of wisdom to women and men that are taking care of their children, but they also seeking a relationship? Because I think a lot of the issue is it's on both sides. I think a lot of the issue is that, people that actually have children and are living honorable lives, they somewhat get caught up and mixed up with the bunch that are not living honorable lives. But then again, we have some honorable people that don't always make honorable decisions. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of folks that, they cool, but at the same time, they be, behind closed doors, you be finding shit out about them. And I'm gonna say this too. Like, even if you have kids, like, it don't make sense for you to go deal with somebody that is a hoe. Cause see, that's the opposite side of it too. Like, you could be a good parent and have kids, but you be dealing with hoes. You be dealing with niggas and females that ain't even worth your time. You know what I'm saying? It's all about some drama when you around them. You know what I mean? You're always finding out about another bitch. You always, it's their phone always ringing. You know what I'm saying? And this nigga always on his phone, but he acting real funky and hiding the phone all the time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what would be your advice to that particular person that has children and they trying to find the right person for them?
Okay. Well, first of all, this is coming from a single mother, and I have been a single mother for a majority of the time my daughter growing up. My daughter's in her late 20s now. Okay, I'm 44. So even when I was a young buck, I'm like, people can try to talk to you and stuff, but when you get to talking to them and seeing where their head is at, where their spirit is at, you got to make a decision. Everybody's not worthy to come around you nor your children. So as a single mother, and I can't tell you right now what kicked in except for the fact of my parents. And I just knew that I didn't want to have a bunch of dudes around my daughter because, first of all, I was extra paranoid because I didn't want anybody to do anything to my child. Being a I was once a victim of rape, and now I'm a victor. So that
Absolutely.
gave me paranoia.
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
I did not want to see that because I told this is something I told every guy. I said, I will go to jail for these couple of reasons right here. The number one thing is if you mess with me and my family, that means my daughter, that means anybody in my family, I'm going to kill you. So I will go to jail for that.
Straight like that.
That was what they knew as a young buck on up. That's it. That is no talking. We don't have nothing to talk about. So
From the day she was born.
Look, yes.
From the day she was born, I'm telling people proudly, look, I look good in orange. Don't fuck with me. And you better not even look at her.
Please don't do it. You don't want to do that. Because I will go, it will be a bad day for everybody in that situation.
Everybody.
Furniture will be moving, and there will be some white meat. So I wanted to be around for my child, okay? So I knew I needed to be on the outside. So that meant I had to be as careful as I could be growing up, each year getting more mature, but I also had a village around. You see what I'm saying? So they also kept me grounded. So when you're out there, it's normal to want to share your life with somebody. It is. And I know there's a lot of people out there looking for love, and I know this may sound corny, but the first place you have to start is yourself. And then if you have children, you have to think about what is going to be good for not only you, because you're not the only one that's going to be getting in that relationship. Your children are getting in that relationship too. So you have to have a conversation with them too before you even think about bringing somebody home. See how they feel. You got to have that balance. You know your children. You know yourself. You know what type of home you want to have. So you would choose accordingly. It has to go past just that person has a nice job, a nice car, maybe, a nice package downstairs. It has to go deeper than these physical things. Not saying you have to race them, but you have to think. When you hook up with this person, who is this person you're going to bring in your house around you and your kids? Will you be able to trust this person if you weren't there and didn't have no camera spying on them? Could you leave certain things out and not have to wonder if it's going to be stolen later? These are whatever questions you have to go through, make a checklist. Think about these things. Like people got to think. We all make mistakes. You can't beat yourself up over a mistake. A mistake is for you to learn. So you're going to make mistakes. Stop trying to be so hell-bent on, I'm going to do this right. You're not. Look, I'm a serial perfectionist. I had to get slapped out of my comfort zone on many different levels. But the main thing in this situation is you got to think, and not just think about you and your needs, but your kids are going to be involved too. What do they need? And any good person that wants to come into a situation like that would know, okay, it's about me and my mate, but also it's about the children. You got to establish a relationship. Don't force it. But they're all different parties involved and all different energies and all different personalities and feelings that all mean something. You're not going to get it perfect, but don't go out there and just make a decision without thinking. So my advice would be think. What do you want? Take some time and sit down and map that stuff out. What kind of home do you want? You know, and if you're just dating, then just date. You don't gotta bring them home. Stop being in a rush to bring everybody home and thinking they're gonna be the one. Because guess what? There's a lot of branches and leaves, but very few roots. Look for your roots. And I would say start scripting. First of all, start writing like 5 things you're grateful for every day. After that, write your goals for the day. Start small and focus on one thing. Give it about 10 things. After that is a thing called scripting. Script. Talk in the now. Stop living in the past. Stop living in the future. Live in the now. The now is the in-between that connects the past and the future. Because guess what? What I just said is already the past. And what I'm speaking right now, I'm speaking things into existence for how this conversation is going to flow, whatever someone's going to say after I finish, which I'm about to be done now, and whoever this may touch or not touch. You got to project what it is you want. You got to embody what it is that you want. So check this out. Here's a little tip. Women or men, if you say you want to mate, let's say you at that time you want to get married. Well, you got to prepare for your wife or your husband. How you going to prepare for your wife or your husband? Do little things. Set up their side of the bed.
Come on,
Put
talk.
something on a nightstand. You got to make it visual.
Talk that
I'm
thing.
serious.
Talk
Act
that
like
thing.
they already did, because guess what? Somebody is going to come that's meant to be there for you. That's it.
Come on, Seiko.
Listen, because I'm sitting over here cheering. I had to put the phone on mute because I was over here cheering. You see, I was timed in a couple times. She's talking about we going to jail. I'm like, yep, I look good in orange. I'm just telling you. That has been my dating the whole time. It has been, okay, like you said, you have to write out that script. You need to know that is this person something that if you leave your stuff out, you know, your stuff could be anything from money on the nightstand to your child. Do you have to lock and hide your phone? Do you have to put your phone on mute? If you answer any of those things, that's not the person you need to have in your life. Much less around your child, because that's not someone that you trust enough to deal with. When you don't trust enough to deal with them, then you don't trust them enough to have them in your face. So if you actually want to see this person that you do not trust enough to build with and to have in your face and to be in all aspects of your life, y'all need to meet up at the hotel or go over to their house. So I'm going to read some of these comments.
Okay.
And Michael Knox, and I think this is what we're talking about, having the kids, you know, on your page on social media. It says, in an extreme situation for parents that date a lot, being friends on social media can create exposure. And that exposure could be detrimental to development in a child's long-term relationship. Or what relationships, in that child's long-term development, to be detrimental to development in a child's long-term version of what relationships are later in their adult lives. Okay, this drink was a little stronger than I thought it was. My bad, y'all. But I think in most cases, kids don't see that. I think in most cases, they see their parents find the next person, the next long-term relationship. It doesn't mean that there's not still exposure, but the days of mom and dad getting married are married forever just isn't the reality anymore. It's sad to say, it's very true. Kim said that she was getting a busy signal. I said, I'm going to have to check the lines. Forgot to say that. Kim said that the relationship is...
and I said the line's open. So
someone's trying to call in.
Yeah, tell her to call back in because the line's open.
Okay, she hears her. Yeah, I feel if the relationship is not going forward, they will never meet my son. And see, that's me. That's me. There are people who can say, oh, yeah, she and I, we dated for 6 months. We dated for 3 months. We dated. What's the daughter look like? Couldn't tell you. And then, so you and I, we kept circling back and around for sex, and, you know, you were talking about, I might tap it or whatever and whatnot. And, you know, Kim was saying a relationship is more than just sex. Absolutely. I understand what you're saying about, you know, you might want to come home and you might want to have sex, and again, you might not want to do anything. But what you don't really want to have to do is, you know, maybe you just don't feel like you want to have to run to the store because this child needs this and this child needs that, this and then the other. I will say, for those that I did date, while I was doing, while my child was younger, I will say that. For those that I did date, my child was never their responsibility. Again, that goes back to the whole I don't live with any man. The man that is here in my house now does not belong to me. He belongs to my sister. She's back there with him. So, it is not I don't live with men. If we are not married, on our way to get married, and when I say on our way to get married, I mean, everything is fine. The eyes are dotted, the deposits made. We got to walk down this aisle here very shortly. We don't live together. My child is my responsibility. So then when you have, you're talking about, you come in and, the shorty is disrespectful or the child has got, a whole lot to say. My child is my responsibility. If there is an issue, that is on me to deal with as that child's mother. If I have no control, if I have no respect given to me and whom I choose to bring around, that is an issue between me and my child, and that is an issue mostly with me and the parenting that I have done. Now, my child may come to me and say, Mama, I feel some kind of way about him. Mama, you talking to that person an awful lot, or this person is coming around, this and that and the other. Is there something I need to know? But that's on me, and that is one of the parenting jobs that I have done. Because if my child is getting bucked with you, that means I have failed. That means I've done something wrong. There's a misstep on my part as a mother that my child feels that they're supposed to come to you in the first place. Because being that you are not their parent, being that you are, you're this new person, you are this person that I'm dating, or this person that I have decided to be in a relationship with, if my child feels the need to say something to you, there's a true problem. And if my child is saying something, then my child is just like, okay, I've seen you try to be abusive or to get out of pocket with my mother, or you have said something to me that my mama needs to know about, and you need to get the hell on. But my job as a parent, my job is to make sure that exchange that you were talking about between you and that young man, or you and her son, or you and her baby's kid, that is an issue with me as a parent. If my child is coming to you instead of coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to me in a respectful manner. Because the other part of that is mine has come to me in a disrespect, not even necessarily about, someone that I was dating, but she's come to me in a disrespectful manner. I learned how to do a wall repair, plaster repair that day.
I guess it too.
We ain't having no more issues like that. Now, if there's a problem, she'll be like, Mom, come here, let me holler at you for a minute. And we will talk, and we will have that conversation. Whether it's about someone that I'm dating, whether it's about something that I'm doing, whether it's about, something that I've said. Hell, whether it's about something that I've worn, because my daughter will be like, Mom, where you going with that? Where you going? I'm going to a party. What kind of party you going to in that? I don't think you need to go to a party. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm grown. She's like, okay, yeah, you're right. You're grown. Okay. But, no, because that shows a failing on the part of you as a parent.
Well, see,
that's why when you were saying, well, if your kids do this and the kids do that, and that's why I was like, I'm different. Because just the thought of those things happening. Like that shit I was talking about upstairs? Nah. Hell no. Ain't no way in the world. My child ain't never, none of my children, 5 of them, running up and down, screaming and hollering, acting at a plum pool. There is the one that I gave birth to in this house, And then there are the other 4, 5 kids. Ain't not a man, none of them ever crossed that line. With me, whether it's their biological mothers, not their father, that's a little bit different. But, even with that, I pull them in and I'm like, hey, that's your father. I know he might get on your nerves, but you will have to figure out a different way to approach that conversation or to approach that topic. But we don't do that. We're not going to do that. And if you think we're going to do that, then I'm going to need you to meet me outside because apparently we got an issue and we need to talk.
Well, see, for me, I'm going to break it down like this.
Okay.
Like I said, I have 3 children. My oldest is 21. Okay. I have done so much to keep my peace. Trying to be a parent, dealing with the mother of my own children, to go through a point now to start all over again with somebody else and their children. That's not, and I say that again, it's no knock to you as a parent if you have kids or whatever. Because the same way I'm talking this right now is the same way I understand a woman that says to me, you have 3 kids. I don't want to talk to you because I don't desire to deal with a man that has baby mamas. What can I say to that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to respect that. I can't be like, oh, this bitch don't want to talk to me because I got kids. I take care of my kid. No. She has a right to say, yo, that's not something I want to be a part of. That's not something that I want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? And for me, again, I say this. Like, if I was 10 years younger, 15 years younger, my conversation would be a little bit differently because I view things a little bit differently. I was in a different stage of my life. But at the stage of my life that I'm in now, I'm like, shit. If I want to, like, if one of my boys call me and be like, yo, let's go to fucking Puerto Rico in a month. Or this weekend, if I got the money and I got the time off, I want to just go. You feel what I'm saying? I want to ask my woman, can she go? You know what I mean? And if she can't go because of work, I get that. But I don't want it to be a situation like I can't go because I can't find nobody to watch the kids. Or I feel like I might have to do extra just to spend time with her because now I have to bring the kids along. And yes, I do understand the whole conversation of kids are a package deal. I get that. I understand that. I totally respect that. But, I haven't had enough packages in my day. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want the stork coming back. I don't want the stork coming back outside. I don't want to hear that motherfucker making I don't want to hear nothing come out his mouth. I don't want nothing to do with it. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if your child is 18 and you getting ready to send that motherfucker off to college, give me a call. We could talk.
Right.
We could talk.
I'm telling you talk about some sports, that motherfucker will get shot in on sight.
You feel what I'm saying? Okay, now you got a child that's growing to be an adult now, so they out your, they should, like I'm not. How can I phrase this? Because I'm not saying that your child should be out your life, but at that age they should be learning themselves and trying to learn their own way. You know what I'm saying? And that just made me think of something else. That's a whole nother conversation. You know what? That just made me think about. Remind me.
Y'all make more than I do. So
what is it? I'm serious. Y'all got.
What is it?
No, y'all got. This got to be another show.
Come on.
This got to be another show because it's
well,
about
give it here.
Hold on, let me say this because I want to drop this so that just y'all be tuning in and listen for the next show or whatever. I want to talk at some point about men and women that are of age, but they are still acting like kids to their parents, and that's why they can't find a relationship and why they can't move on in life because they so stuck to being somebody's baby that they can't be nobody's man or woman or adult. But I just felt that thing. That thing came. That felt on me like, geez, I gotta take that.
That's spinning. But you know what? That's spinning your spirit and rolling around your head.
I just heard it.
I'm telling you, I got it
You can
right
feel
there.
That's
it.
the road right
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta type that
I
down
felt
right now.
so
Y'all
bad.
go ahead and talk. I'm about to type that down
Ooh,
in
look,
our
I'm typing it
section.
as we speak.
Yeah.
I'm typing it as we speak.
Are you typing that? All right, cool. Send that to me because I
Yeah.
definitely want to make sure we cover
Yeah.
that. Like, that's a real conversation. But back to these
Yes.
badass kids and these mamas that I ain't banging. I'm just tripping, y'all. But no, like seriously though, I just don't, I don't have. It's so many conversations that deal with children that I don't personally have the time for right now. You know what I mean? I don't have the patience for it right now. I don't have it in me to even navigate around those realms. I can be a great friend to somebody that has kids. I can be a great mentor to a kid.
Mentor.
Yeah, but I can't, like at this point, I'm telling you, I gotta, if for me personally, I gotta meet a woman and she gotta just like blow my mind so damn bad. And when I meet the kid, I'd be like, this is like little Jesus reincarnated. This kid is wonderful. Like, can I touch you just to get a blessing? Like, but I don't know no kids like that. You know what I mean? And I know some good kids, but I don't know no kids that I just be like, I want to go touch you. Because even the good kids get on your nerves because they want shit. I don't even want to be in a position to give nobody shit. Don't ask me for shit. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's like real talk. How many women are dealing with a man, and they dealing with their kids, but you really don't feel like dealing with none of that shit, but you dealing with this nigga. Or you dealing with a woman, and it's just hell because you got to deal with her baby daddy because he feeling some way about another dick around his woman and his kids, and now you got to deal with that whole. That's a whole nother situation right there. I don't feel like dealing with no nigga because of no woman.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
I feel you. I do.
Yeah.
Been there.
Like, what do I feel?
What do I do?
Like, this is what I'm saying.
Him off and on for
Check it out.
7 or 8 years.
Check it out. Like, listen.
Yeah.
Imagine. Listen, I'm gonna give y'all just a scenario. Okay, you get up and you go to work, and you get a phone call during the middle of the day, and it's about not your kid, but the woman's kid that you're dealing with, and you feeling like you gotta listen, you gotta take it in, and then once you say something, this is the other part about dealing with people that got kids. Once you say something that the mama don't feel like you should be saying, don't talk to my kid like that. Don't. I got this. Whoa, well, what the fuck am I dealing with you for? Because, it wasn't that you got this when I was taking all motherfuckers to the movies and when I was feeding you motherfuckers. It wasn't all that. It wasn't all that then. It wasn't all that when I said let's go down to to Great America and I paid for that shit. It was all cool then. But now I want to say something. Now you don't want me to say nothing? Come on.
Okay. Hold on. Because see now I have an issue. Right now I have an issue. Because if you are in my child's life to the point where you are where they are free enough to ask you for anything. If you taking us, not me, but you're taking me and my child, and you are taking us on an excursion. You are doing things for us. You are providing in our home. We are going on trips, this and that and the other. Okay, well, you have reached a different level. That is now, again, this is me. This is me. This is my house. This is my children. If we are on that level, then you have reached a level where if my child is out of pocket, again, remember, my child was raised in a village. If we are on that level where you are doing those things for my child, because my child, the other people in her village, she can go to for those things. The other people in our village are doing those things for her. So those other people in my village, if my child is out of pocket, can correct. So if you are on the level where you are doing those things for my child, then you have the right.
All right.
You have gained that position where you can say what needs to be said in regards to that child. Okay, nobody asked you to this. Okay, so then of course mine pops in right at that particular moment talking about I disagree. Go ahead somewhere, little girl. But if you are to that point,
Yeah.
if you have reached that point where my child can come to you and ask you for something, because my child don't ask for nothing, she don't even ask me for stuff. So if my child can come to you and ask you for something, if you can sit there and plan and take the effort and put forth the money to do this with me and my child, then you have earned, have established that right, have accomplished that rank where you can say what needs to be said to my child.
Hold on 1 second. We got us a call on the line.
Right.
317-796. Who is this? Talk to me.
Now, hey, that's me, Kim. Yeah, I just wanted to add to this. If you are...
Hey, Graphic Smart.
Ready. I got in. Hey, if you're on that level where you on that emergency call list and they calling you about my child, for one, you've earned the respect. And you have earned the right to say what you need to say to me. And as your woman, I need to respect what you're saying. Now, it's not that you're trying to hurt my child or anything. You may see something that I don't. As the parent, a lot of times we overlook our badass kids because half the time they can't do nothing wrong. Half the time they can't do nothing wrong. But you looking in as a man and you doing what you're supposed to as a man and me respecting you as my man, then I got to respect what you say. And then I need to come to you for guiding because I got a male child.
Oh,
so
Lord.
you can teach
Jesus.
my son to be a man.
I just clapped for you. I wish I had my sound effects so I could just get the whole clap going for you. But you just said some shit that touched my heart and my soul. Continue, my queen. You are a queen. Go ahead and finish talking.
Thank you.
Marching the toes now. I'm just telling you.
Well, and another thing, for me, as a single parent raising a male child, I made it a point not to just have any man around my son. Because, for one, I had to see, when a man approached me, what can you offer my son? What can you teach him? I ran into the ones in the streets. No, that's not what I want my son to be. I ran into the ones who play games. That's not what I wanted them to be. I dealt with people who own businesses and everything. At the age of 14, my son started his own business. And this is because I put him around people who he could emulate in a positive way.
Okay.
But I wasn't dating these people. I just, they were friends that I knew and worked with. And I said, hey, you have some attributes that I want my son to learn to be, to grow into this. And he ended up going to college, Jacobs School of Music, and this is one of the top 3 jazz schools in the country, in the world, basically. But we have to respect the men that we put in our children's lives. A lot of these women don't. They just get them because, hey, he got money. Money ain't everything.
And
I'm gonna leave it right there.
I want you to keep on this because, this is something that I've even experienced. You can meet a woman or a male. I'm gonna keep it out. I'm gonna keep it open. I'm trying not to get into a verbal, a man or female bashing thing. But you can meet somebody, right? And you can think that they respect you until you hit a certain point that you recognize that the respect is not there. Okay. And this is going towards people unlike you, because once you cross that line and you see that the kids have a lack of respect and you see that the mother is not backing you up, it's time to go. Do you agree or do you disagree with that?
Oh, I agree.
Well, I'll say this. Before I would just up and leave, I'd have a conversation. I'd have to let you know, okay, at this point, I feel like I'm being disrespected. Now, I'll give you an opportunity to change it. And if you don't change it, then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people aren't even aware that they're being disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's just how they
something that
go through
you
life.
view as disrespectful, right? Something that you view as disrespectful, they don't see it that way,
Okay.
and you be like, no, that's disrespectful.
Okay.
Well, yeah. See, that's why I'm gonna give you that warning. Hey, that's disrespectful. Let me stop you before you do it again.
Okay.
Now you step on that.
Now, let me ask you.
Step on that button again. You on your own.
Now let me ask you a question. Okay, now I guess you just sort of answered it because
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to say, what if you have that conversation and you know, and the person sort of says like, all right, I got it, but you don't see any change, and like the kid keeps being disrespectful, continues to to go all out. At what point do you say, I'm done? I can't do this no more because I'm gonna end up fucking your kid up, and I'm gonna end up cussing you out.
When you
Well,
get that place in your soul,
when you feel
in
like
your heart,
that, when you
time
feel
to
like
go.
that, yeah, it's time to go. When you get to that point where it's like I'm about to bust both of y'all in the mouth, it's time to go.
because it may happen. So it's time to go. If nothing can be solved, it's time to go. Like if you can't have a conversation about it, and if you already had many conversations and still nothing's changing, it's time to make another decision. Because people speak with their actions louder than their words. A lot of times they don't
Absolutely.
compute. So, look,
They
85%
can say
of
one
all
thing.
language is nonverbal. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, actions
I'm a
speak
believe-
way
I'm a
louder than
believer.
words.
Show me. I'm gonna believe what you show me. I can't hear. I'm deaf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna believe what your actions show me. Don't talk me to death,
Mhm.
because I'm definitely a motherfucker. Don't talk me to death.
Yes.
She said,
Show
I'm
me,
deaf to the
please.
motherfucker.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God! Sometimes it takes somebody real special to make me butt gut laugh. Yeah, butt gut laugh. That shit cracked me up.
Butt in the gut.
Oh my God, that was nigga.
See, y'all don't even know how I'm hearing about this one when we get off the air.
Oh,
Y'all
no.
don't even know.
You
But
all
I'm serious
good.
as a heart attack.
Nah, you all good. You all good.
I'm deaf in a motherfucker.
Nah, that was
I'm
funny.
deaf in a motherfucker.
Nah, that was funny than a motherfucker. Like, cause like I'm just looking at
that's
it
real.
from that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it from a real life perspective. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we look at stuff and we sugarcoat shit and we play around with certain situations. And and this is the killer part. Like if you shout out to Cook. Cook I don't know if I'm saying your name right, Nefertari. Shout out to Cook,
Nefertari.
because I've been saying
Cook
Cook.
Nefertari, that is my sister.
Cook has been like, I've been saying likes and all kind of stuff throughout the whole show. So I definitely want to send a shout out to her. She definitely representing. But
Yeah.
I just got
Yes.
a problem with just not being real at this point in my life. You know what I mean? And I think like if we
Yes.
if we as a
Oh my God.
if we as a people become a lot more real with what we accept and what we like in life, it'll we'll sort of avoid certain situations, certain fights that we encounter. You know what I mean? Like it took a certain point in my life for me to say, you know what, I'm dealing with the same shit because I'm dealing with the same crowd. You know what I mean? And that goes in just like, whether your friends, your relationships, I say this again, sometimes you have got to quit fucking with different people with the same, you got to quit fucking with the same people with a different face, because like it will come back and bite you. Life is about, I'm telling you, life is about cycles. And you never come out of a cycle until you can understand the cycle and then adapt and beat the cycle. You feel what I'm saying? But if you don't, you will repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat the same shit over and over again. And at the, I hate to say it this way, but it ain't nobody's fault at that point but your own. Everything that you do. Everything that you do, every person that you lay down with, you have to take responsibility for what the fuck is gonna happen, whether they got kids or they don't have kids. What you put your circle into
Right.
and what you allow in your circle is going to be something that will define you, and it will it speaks volumes. I hate to say it that way. It really speaks volumes, because we live in such a state of doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Like if you sit back and think about the majority of your friends, and this is a wake up moment for somebody, and somebody else gonna listen to this and just be like, he just talking. But if you really look at the people around you, and then you look at the situation that you're in, I guarantee you it has a balance. It balances out. Like the motherfuckers that you around, and the input of conversation that you have with people, and the shit that you put up with, I'm willing to bet you in some point in your life that's what you're dealing with. Now, if you are dealing and trying to be better and move up and revamp how you do relationships, your finances and everything, and even your friends, then things will change. But until you do that, I used to, and I'm telling you, Ish, you can be the first one to confirm this. I started the live streaming stuff before people even recognized what it was. I started with the Facebook group stuff before people really knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? And I recognize that anybody that has a group, you can damn near verify this. The people that you allow to be in your group and the type of conversations that you allow in that group, that's the type of shit you're gonna have. If you have a group where you allow motherfuckers to come in there and talk crazy and kick shit off, at some point your group is gonna go to fuck. Somebody in your group is gonna be on blast, and somebody else is gonna feel like they being attacked. You know what I'm saying? And it's like so it's just like that in real life. It's just like that with who you deal with in real life. If you deal with it, I hate to say it though, if the only brothers, and I'm talking to my brothers right now, if the only bitches that you see is bottom bitches when you only with your niggas and you drinking and you getting fucked up, don't get upset. That's your baby mamas. That's the product that you dealing with. You're not even looking for nothing different. So don't get mad when you get a bitch pregnant and she calls you a world of fucking problems, because goddamn it, you should have looked at the signs before you dipped and stuck your dick in her. You know what I'm saying? And I say that even with my own baby mamas. I'm not talking about nobody, but if I would have took into consideration the person that they were before I got in the bed with them, I would not be in some of the situations that I faced in life. That's just what I feel about it. Talk to me.
I like the fact that you made it a point to say that it is not just about your romantic relationships, because it is about your friends as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you that I love all my tribe. I love all my girls. We are all thick as thieves, and we are all, we are all full of tail. However, there was a group, and we would get together and we would do a lot of fuck shit. And when my daughter started being like, why y'all do this and this and this and this? And why this and this and this happened? And why this person do this? And why this person do that? And why this person say this? And I'm like, well, how did you pick up on all of this? And she's just like, well, y'all all be talking. Y'all don't pay attention to the fact that I'm just sitting right there. I hear everything.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pump the brakes, and I had to be like, you know what? No, this is not what I want for my daughter. This is not how I want my daughter to be raised. This is not what I want my daughter to think is how a woman should conduct herself. So at that point in time, I pumped my brakes, and I switched up how I did things. I switched up how we moved. I switched up where we were, who we were, who she was around, the conversations that she was privy to, even, my phone conversation. I switched up everything, because in that particular situation, it was still a relationship. It was still a relationship that I was in, that I was like, we gonna have fun, and all we ever did, we had fun, and we clowned, and we acted a fucking fool, and we fought, and we were crazy as hell, and there were times when we were together as hell, and we had some moments when we were absolutely terrible. We have all grown since that point. But there was a point when my daughter repeated some stuff, when my daughter started asking questions, when my daughter was like, why did this person say this, and why did this person do this, and what exactly is this and that and the other, where I had to be like, whoa, I'm fresh. Let me reevaluate and let me make the adjustments that are necessary. And so even in my romantic relationships, if there comes a point in time where I'm just like, you know what, where she starts asking questions, whether she's met this person or not, when she starts asking questions, or when she starts, what's this mean, or what's going on with this, or what's going on with that, then I'm like, okay, let me help my break. Let me evaluate my situation. Let me look at what this says about me and what is going on here. Is this something that I'm okay with her being a privy to? Is this something that I'm okay with? If this comes, and this is the thing that I do with my life, if this comes to light, if somehow or another this becomes a public thing, is this something that is going to cause me shame? Is this something that is going to make me look at myself differently? Is this something that is going to be detrimental to my child? And that is literally how I have lived my life these past 18 years. Well, I was doing it at first, then I stopped because, we started having fun, started acting cool. But then I had to come back to myself. I had to come back to who I am, and to come back with, I live my life by example. I do not do things. And for a while I did. I wound out. I had a ball. And like I said, my daughter is like, what are you doing? But I live my life in such a way that my daughter will say, my mama didn't do that. I'm not going to put up with that. My mama didn't put up with that. I'm not going to put up with that. My mama didn't do this. What would my mom say about this? When my mom when my mama was faced with the situation, she didn't, this is how she did this, or this is how she handled it, or, so no. It's not just about, and we have to be mindful of that, because I don't think a lot of times we even think so much about that. When we are looking at our relationships, we need to look beyond just our romantic relationship.
So
sometimes we have to look at family.
So what you just made me think about? Like my youngest son, and this is a true story. When me and my youngest son split up, me and my youngest son's mother split up like when he was a year old, okay? And one day she was talking to me, and she was talking to me about us possibly hooking back up. And for a second, a part of me was like, yeah. But then I told her something. I said, you know what? The only reason I'll never get back with you is because if it don't work out, I have to think about the damage that I'm gonna do to my son, because my son is gonna look at this. He was so young that the reason we split up, he couldn't understand. He just wanted us to be back together. You know what I'm saying? And it was, did I look at her? Did she still look good to me at the time? I'm like, hell yeah, she still looked good to me. But then I thought back to what it was like when shit was bad and when it wasn't going right.
Right.
And I had to think, I had to be big enough to take myself out the equation and say, you know what? As much as I would possibly like to do this, it's not good for me, and it's definitely not going to be good for our son if it don't work out. And sometimes that's what you have to think about when you have kids. You have to think about I'm horny. I need a relationship. I'm lonely. Whatever the fuck it is. But in the end, is my child gonna be affected by what I'm doing? Because if your child is affected by what you're doing, guess what? 9 times out of 10, children repeat the same cycles that their parents teach them because they don't learn nothing else nowhere else. And we're not in society is not one of these societies now where you can really lean on and say my child knows what's going on. No, they don't. No, they don't. They only know the small circle of what they see. And if you think about some kids don't even come off. They go to school and they hang out in a one little area on their block and they don't see nobody else. So what else are they learning?
Mm-hmm.
What else are they learning? So if I'm a young man and I see my mama, like, and check this out, mamas. If you're a mother and you fucking 40 going north and you just fucking with all kind of different niggas, don't be upset when your son turns out to be that way towards other women. Or don't be upset when your daughter turns out to deal with the niggas that she been seeing you dealing with all her life, because that's the mold that she has grown to accept, know, and to love. We are more like our parents more than we like to say. I remember when I was young, I used to say I did not want to be like certain people in my family. But I realize now that I'm older that I have a lot more of their traits than I wanted to recognize that I wanted to have. You feel what I'm saying? Like, some shit is bad traits. Yeah. Some shit that I got to look at and say, yo, that's fucked up how I look at that shit. Or sit back and reevaluate shit and then be like, I think this way because of how I was raised and shit. But it still don't make it right. You know what I mean? I'm still wrong. So if I'm training a child up all wrong, partying, having niggas in and out the house, you know, she see me just, you know, seeing niggas disrespect me, see me all the time arguing on the phone, or, you know, don't even include like the crazy, you know, when you go crazy and you want to go fuck a nigga up and trash his car, and now your ass is, you know, dealing with the law and all this stuff. Your child seeing all that shit, and they growing up thinking that this is life, this is normal.
Yeah.
They grow up thinking that this is normal.
That's when I had to change my life. Absolutely.
So I have
or they wind up teaching the parents.
Yeah, I have a problem. I have a problem with parents that just do whatever the fuck they want to do, and then, you know, they want to get mad at their kid for doing the exact same shit that you taught them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to call him a hoe. Now you want to call him a bitch. Now you want to say they ain't no good. You want to say this nigga ain't shit. But guess what? He learned all that shit from you. You was the nigga. You know, you was the nigga that was running different females in the crib, and you was the female running different niggas in the crib. So guess what? That's what they either became one of the runners or they running.
Yep. Well, that's because most parents don't understand what they expose their kids to is what they're going to become. Yes. You have to leave something. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm smoking weed all day in front of my kids, I can't tell them don't smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it's a bad thing. So if I want my kids not to smoke weed, then that means I'm not going to smoke it in front of them. Now, I might go around the corner with my girls and get toe up, but they not going to see that.
I'm not going to do it in front of you.
Exactly.
My learning moment came when I got a call. My learning moment came when I got a call from my child's school, and they said, "We need you to come up here." And I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" And they were like, "Your daughter beat up a little boy," and I'm going, "My daughter?" So I go to school, and I'm like, "Okay, well, what happened?" And she said, you know, and they were just like, "Well, you know, your daughter," and I mean, and I will admit, you know, because at this point in time, my child was in martial arts, and she was a very high-ranking self. So she has a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of skill that was above and beyond, you know, whatever. And we were using this because, in my infinite wisdom, we were using martial arts to help her with her anger management issues. That we didn't know where they came from. Anybody who knows me knows that Mama, I will say even though it has been a few years, so I will preface this to say was a brawler. You make me mad, we don't fight, and I don't fight fair. I'm from the streets of New York. I don't like it, but I'm going to swing on you, believe it, in a heartbeat. No hesitation. I'm swing on you. So, my child, I get called to the school, anger management issues. This child has beat and drugged this little boy. This little boy, he's going to require some medical attention. And they called me, and I was like, my child is an honor student. My child, he would never do this. I don't know what y'all talking about. So they call her down there, and they just like, you know. And so they said, well, she did this, she did this, she did this, she did this. And okay. I said, well, why did she do that? Well, we don't know why. And I'm like, okay, did anybody bother to ask her why? And they're like, no, you know. But do you see this little boy? This is what she did. And I'm like, why did she do it? So my child comes down there, and this is the ignorance, and this is when I say it takes a village, because then the village has to sit in and be like, oh, you wrong, and you teach you setting a bad example for your child. Because my daughter said he kept picking with me. I told him to stop. He was picking with me. He was picking with my friends. I told him to stop. He didn't. I told him again to stop. He didn't. So when he did it the third time, I had to teach him a lesson. I had to make him understand what the issue was. And my response was, okay, so what's the problem? So one of my girlfriends had to pull me to the side and be like, oh, you're the problem. You're not supposed to be teaching your child. It is okay to just be out here. There's got to be a way to figure some stuff out. You know, she needs to seek help. She needs to seek somebody else. She cannot just be like, I'm going to take this into my own hands. I told you once, I told you twice, the third time I'm beating your ass. She said, then you can't do that in today's society. You can't do that with your child. Because, again, my thing was, okay, she told him twice. He did it the third time. She beat his ass. What's the problem? And like I said, my girlfriend was like, so you're the problem. And I'm like, oh, well, okay. So, again, that was one of those turning points where I had to really pump my own brakes and be like, okay, I need to work on conflict resolution rather than my conflict resolution, you know, that my go-to conflict resolution. I've given you two options. The third time, I'm just going to swing.
Well, see, you know what?
So it comes down to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I want to go ahead. Finish.
I said so. You know.
Well, see.
Yeah. So it was one of those where it does take a village, and you know, sometimes you really have to look at yourself, and you have to look at the example as you're setting for yourself.
See, and this is what that made me think about. Okay, now I know my church loving folks, y'all know this phrase, train a child in the way that he should go, and when he grows older, he won't depart from it. Right? Now, guess what?
Absolutely.
If you train a child in the wrong way, they ain't gonna depart from that
Absolutely.
either.
Nope.
They ain't gonna depart from that either.
And to
You know what I mean? Like if you
this day, yep.
like if you a father and you running around acting like super nigga and acting like you gotta be the baddest nigga in the world, don't be surprised when your child start doing the same shit.
Absolutely.
When you around here hoeing and you fucking around everybody, don't be surprised. Like, you know, I gotta say this, and this I'm gonna tell you, this hit home for me. Everybody knows that I'm a recent grandfather, and when I found out about my grandson, I found out like during the delivery, because they kept it from me, because I guess they thought, I don't know what they thought. But I had to be like with my son. I had to tell my son, like, yo, it's at this particular point, it ain't for me to sit up here and talk about what you done wrong, because he's not with the baby mother and they weren't together when they had the baby. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, it ain't my job to sit up here and talk about what you did wrong. My job at this point is to tell you about your next level, about what you're about to have to deal with in raising this child. And it ain't going to be easy. You feel what I'm saying? Because I had to, you know, you have to realize that once, especially when you see your child at that point where they doing stuff at some point you have to sit back and ask yourself, what did I do to contribute to their thought process?
Absolutely.
You know, and
Absolutely.
yes, that don't mean that you don't break out that belt or, you know, tear that ass up or do whatever you got to do to try to get them on track. But what you need to do is in your own personal time, do a little self-reflection and be like, well, where am I fucking up at? What am I doing? Am I spending so much time outside the crib that my kid recognizes my schedule and they do what they want to do outside in the street? Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you have to start to think about the trail that you left behind, and don't get mad because they eating the fruits that you left for them to eat. Do you feel what I'm saying? You leave a trail for a child to do something. So like, and I'm trying, and we got to get back to the point of what we were talking about with dating. When you dating somebody and children are involved, if you do not have children and you're dealing with somebody that does have children, please evaluate that person and the relationship with their kids and everything else before you decide to get serious with them, before you decide to lay with them. Because guess what? You could be deciding to lay with somebody and being like, yo, I'm just smashing. And next thing you know, you got another fucking baby with the motherfucker that you already looked at like you didn't even want to fuck with in the first place. Ladies too. A lot of y'all get with niggas and y'all just fuck them and just do whatever. And then after you fuck them, you sitting there like, God damn it, I got this baby and this nigga ain't doing shit. He ain't doing. Well, guess what? How did you meet that nigga? How soon did you
Not doing shit.
How soon did he hit? How soon did he hit?
Listen, stop talking about it. Listen.
I'm just saying, cause hey,
I mean,
so it's a lot of one-hitter quitters out here. A lot of them. A lot of one-hitter quitters. I done been a one-hitter quitter. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? And man, I'm so glad that some of them one-hitter quitters that I hit did not get pregnant. Real shit. I didn't been over. Listen, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. Ain't nothing worse for a man to be sitting up in a woman's house, and the house is nasty, the kids running crazy. They, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, and you just sitting there just waiting so that they go to sleep so you can smash. And the kids fucking running crazy because they ain't even got no goddamn bedtime. Think about that. How many kids do you know at this point be up late as fuck? They ain't even got a bedtime. What do I want to fuck with you for? And your kids don't even have a structure and to go to fuck to sleep. I gotta feed you. I gotta feed these motherfuckers, and then I gotta sit up here and listen to you do all this fucking arguing about what the fuck they day was in school and how the fuck they was fucking up in school, and then I gotta wait for these motherfuckers to go to bed just so I can lay with you, and I don't even really care about you. What was the fucking purpose of me even being there?
That's emotional. That's where you learn. You know what you get into.
Yeah, ladies.
And then you ran that risk. You ran the risk.
Yeah, ladies. When you fucking with that nigga, that man, he don't never answer the phone before 9 o'clock. He only talk about what we gonna do at your crib or we gonna hook up, and it's all. He ain't never talking about taking your ass no fucking where. And this the nigga that you want to bring around your kids and say, yo, this the nigga, you know, that's my man, that's my boo, no, he ain't. That's the nigga you fucking. That's the nigga you fucking.
Absolutely.
And I hate to break it down this way. That's the nigga that's fucking you. Cause you so goddamn blinded that you don't even recognize this nigga don't even want you in the first place. He's just fucking you. So what is the purpose? You might as well go ahead and hold that pussy tight for another night or two.
Yeah.
Come on, talk to me. I'm Ishi. Come on, talk to me, baby.
Well, I mean, I agree. I co-sign. I co-sign. It is like I said. It goes back to your thought process. A lot of people are thinking in the wrong way. You think about how to change something. You think from the outside in. That's ass backwards. When we think about relationships and what they entail, a lot of us, no matter how old you are, still don't even have a balanced way of viewing a relationship for you. Forget about saying, oh, this is the right way, because there is no one particular damn way. It's what works for you. But a lot of people are living in chaos without the order. So therefore, you're going to invite more of that order in. I'm sorry. Like, okay, here we go. Perfect example. Every woman at some point in time has received the unwanted surprise picture up in your
Talking about that
inbox.
dick pic? Talking about that dick pic?
Every woman
That dick pic?
knows
Got that dick pic?
that picture.
Yeah, that dick pic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That dick pic.
Nigga, stop sending that dick pics. Please, fellas, brothers, stop it.
You know. Huh?
I said, brothers, if y'all don't stop doing one
Okay,
thing
good.
for the whole male race, stop sending dick pics.
Like, what?
I said,
But-
niggas need to stop sending them dick pics. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Okay, how about I got one today while I'm sitting there saying Happy Father's Day to my daddy. I'm like, who are you? What do you want?
And see,
All right.
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. Now, you're right. No matter what caliber of woman you are, they can come with queen goddess and still some way, somehow, flip the dick pic up in there. Okay? But
Yes.
At some point, you got to be like, look, like I couldn't believe I was even having this conversation. Someone was begging, like, please, can I show you something? I said, please, no. I don't want to see what you want to show me, because I have a feeling what you want to show me. I don't want to see it. They're begging me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I feel bad. I guess they thought they were offering something to me, but if you don't teach people, like, look, that's not going to do it for me, baby.
I got
Some
hair
sort
on
of
these
picture
balls.
of a piece of meat is not going to do nothing for me. You have to go deeper than that. So if all you are worried about is just getting your back, blown out, or getting up in some wet,
Got to go balls deep.
then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get your back blown out. But then when you're going through real life problems, he ain't gonna have nothing to offer you but his dick.
Mm.
And that might not be good.
Maybe a couple of hours if he's really healthy. All right, and let's face it, some of y'all and some of us in the past, because I had picked some unhealthy ones in the past. That's why, no sir, if your ass,
Right.
and I'm mean this, if your ass ain't on some type of health regimen where you trying to do better, you're not coming up to me, son. And what I mean by health regimen, I mean your mental. I mean your physical. I mean your emotional. And here we go. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Your spiritual. Because I'm still cleaning. And it took time for me to get to this point. I'll be damned. If you want to come here with your jacked up stuff and you don't want to move nowhere, you can stay there with that. And I can love you from afar. But I don't need that toxicity up in my environment. So it got to be, you can't be led. You can't, look, let me tell you something. Be real. You can buy something if you want it that bad. You can love yourself. How about that? So when you finally get the right one that is worthy of going in there, you can kind of show them how to do it.
Okay.
What you like,
This is what works for
show
me.
them how to do it.
Who was saying okay?
Come
They
on,
cracking
like,
me
we
up.
not in the, yes, we not in the play box. We not in the sandbox no more.
Time out. Who the
We
hell was
like,
that saying
we worry
okay?
about things like trinkets and things.
Hold on,
Trinkets and things. Really?
hold on. I gotta find out.
Really?
I
That's
gotta
really
find
gonna
this
do it for
out.
you?
I gotta find this out because whoever was agreeing with you, they meant that shit to their soul. They was,
Shut up, Brett.
you goddamn right.
Brett. Brett. Let her talk.
Who was
You
that?
talk later. You let her talk right now. Stop it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, that must been Masako ass
didn't
over
see
there.
that.
That was Masako ass. That's okay.
It was Stevie.
I just want
It
to know who the
was
cheering section
Stevie.
was. I just want to know who the cheering section was.
Yeah,
While we were curious, Russ. While we were curious.
My favorite little sticker on Facebook is this little story on chick. She got these two Afro puffs, and she got these damn pom-poms. And that's what I was feeling right there in that moment. I'm like, nigga, please, if you don't go on some damn what, never mind. Keep talking, of course. I'm quiet.
Bless her little heart. Bless your little heart.
I mean, you got to. Look, if you don't get real and get gangster with yourself and what you worth, you're going to accept whatever. And I'm sorry. Come on. When y'all really sit back and think about it, after that moment is over. And let's be real. Some of y'all that went out and put that brother or whatever, that female up in there, it wasn't what you expected, was it? And so now what? You don't waste your energy. So you just wanted to get it all.
That is hell.
We're grown. Get grown. I hope tonight everybody that has not been in that place steps into those shoes right now and says, enough is enough. Send that vibe out there. Enough is enough. How about getting healthy homes and healthy families back again? How about that? How about getting healthy individuals back? How about that?
Oh, my God.
Yes.
You have all those healthy physical, sexual, and all the relations. You can, you can get it all out. And have it be healthy, have you grow with it, and have you manifest some real shit. How about that?
Oh, my God.
Doesn't that sound good?
You have
Oh,
tickled
God, that sounds real good, don't it?
You tickled me in the last 5
you
minutes.
Get a piece.
I swear to God, when you came in
you
with
get
that.
One.
Hold on, when you came in with that,
you get one.
You said, and take that, And nigga, if you fucking with the wrong bitch, if you fucking with the wrong bitch, nigga, it's your fault. I love this show. I love this show. Oh my God, yo, listen. We've been on for 2 hours, y'all. We're getting ready to shut it down. I want to get a final review and a final word.
Really?
Yeah, we've been on for 2 hours. It's 9/11.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you know me. We can keep it going.
Love y'all.
You know we can keep it going, but you know I don't want to drown folks out. You know, too bad. You know, have folks sitting here wondering what we're gonna talk about because you know. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I want y'all to say y'all last little pieces, but then I'm gonna tell y'all what we talking about next week. It's gonna get juicy next week. It's gonna get juicy next week.
I'm scared.
So let's start with our guest. We got a special guest today. What's your name again, love? I don't want to mess up your name.
Yeah.
Is our guest still on the phone?
Francis Murphy still on the line. No, I think she jumped off.
No, I see her number still here, but she probably went somewhere.
Oh.
Okay. So
Francis Murphy, you want to talk?
Okay, let's start with Masako since you on the roll. Go ahead.
With your Afro puff.
Did she just shut up?
I have co-signed. Yeah, I guess I know it puts me off. No, I mean I'm in complete agreement with with our sister. Shouldn't tell your name on this again, so I ain't very call him, so you can call it by the right name. So, but I'm always in complete agreement with her. I think that we have to do some self-examination, and we have to really examine who it is that we are allowing into our lives, into our sacred spaces, into just period altogether, because she hit on so many points that I was just like, preach, because, we have all been there, and we have all allowed some BS to enter into our lives, and we have just got to get to a point where we really do some serious, deep examinations and make some changes.
That's what's up. Come on, talk to me, Ishi.
Righty. This is the last word. Like, no, people, just seriously do some introspection on yourself, because what's going on your inside has a whole lot to do with who you're attracting and what's going on your outside. It's not a cliche. This is real stuff. If you start to change that narrative inside yourself, you start to change your relationships, because your view, your perception is going to be different. Therefore, you're not going to be vibrating with what somebody that's below you is vibrating on. You got to connect with that. So raise up.
Hey, I want to let y'all know I appreciate everybody that tuned into tonight's show. We had a great one tonight, but I want to let y'all know what we're gonna be talking about next, man. How important is sex to you in your personal life as it pertains to maintaining a happy relationship? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna repeat that for y'all. I'm gonna repeat that for y'all one more again. How important is sex to you in your personal life as it pertains to having and maintaining a happy relationship? Lord have mercy. Is anybody out there with somebody that that ain't hitting that thing right, but you in a relationship and they ain't doing that thing right at all?
Why you got to? So why you got to be nasty? Why you got to be all of it?
That ain't nasty. That's a true. It's a real fucking life situation.
Why you got to be all up in folks' business like that though?
Man, wait till I tell y'all about next week. Man, wait till I tell y'all about this.
Right.
I'm gonna tell y'all next week about some sex I had. It was so bad. I swear to God. Oh Lord. I was like, ain't no way in hell I had no relationship with you, because I ain't happy at all right now. Like, when you ended it and unhappy, like, this is terrible. Like, what the fuck? I could be eating sherbet ice cream right now. What the fuck is going on? Like,
Could you stop? It's the question. Could you stop though?
Hell yeah! I'm gonna tell you about my. I told y'all last week. I think it was last week. I told y'all about 2 weeks. Wait a minute. I told y'all a couple of shows ago. I was like, I'm like, I've mastered faking the orgasm. Like, and fake that. I didn't learn that shit.
Oh my God.
So we're gonna talk about that in a couple weeks. And be looking forward to us, because we're trying to make a transition over to Zoom so that you can actually see our faces on the show. Facebook doesn't allow us to bring everybody in on the show at the same pace. So with that,
I did my face today.
Let me finish telling the folks what we doing. Shut up. When we do the Zoom thing, we'll be able to allow multiple people on the line, and like I even got some phone calls today about people that were trying to hit the line and they could not get into the line. So in a very, very short while, if I can get all of the people on the show to get with me just one day so that we can test everything, because I don't want to get on the show trying to debut something and we haven't went through how it works between us. And that way we'll be able to, that our guests and other people will be able to share videos and it'll be so much more that we could do with the show. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. I look forward to seeing y'all very soon. Please share this show. We go every 2 weeks. It's feeling like very soon we will be going to a weekly process. But I'm just waiting for us to get that other format together. So I just want to thank everybody once again for tuning in to What's Love Got to Do with It, man. It ain't got a goddamn thing to do with it if your badass kids is in. God damn it, I gotta go. Bye.
Bye, Russ.